is too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
We knew it was just a matter of time. Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
GC Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Tonight, it's a race in the midst of the cornfields of Iowa as the Mystic Racing League gets all set to go for this evening's coverage of the Slim Chickens Cup Series. Tonight, the Slim Chickens 225 looks to see who conquers Iowa and its speedway. Here tonight on VSPEED. I'm Justin Prince alongside the booth for tonight's Morgan Cook as we get prepared for this evening's festivities, as we are all set for a 225 lapper in Newton, Iowa. Today should be interesting, especially since for the past couple years this track provided a much different flair compared to its previous years. But right now, the main thing for a lot of these drivers is, can they beat the talent that stacked up the field, Morgan? And better yet, can you make sure you're good on gas?
Yeah, fuel is going to be quite the conversation here tonight, even more so than just how awesome this racetrack is. I mean, this racetrack is modeled after Richmond, which they call racing perfection, and they somehow made it even a little bit better, Rusty Wallace, when we designed this place before 2006. Multiple grooves, top to bottom. The pavement kind of changed that. Bottom feeders most likely, middle is viable. It's going to be a very interesting race tonight, both from a conservation mode for tires, fuel strategy, and just where you put the car on the racetrack, JP.
It's going to be an interesting one and potentially could shake things up over the course of the schedule, or standing should say. But we only have a few races to go, so we start off the chase, remember. Indy, Richmond, Daytona, that next stretch. You're talking about a big track, a little track, and another big super speedway, a part of that stretch.
And two of those are full length also.
Exactly. And for any of these drivers that are in the top 16 coming into tonight, Morgan, you've got to make sure you're able to at least build some cushion, because things have been swapping around that 16th position coming in.
Yeah, plenty of movement throughout the points. Drivers missing races, drivers having bad days, having great days. those 2 full-length races at Indianapolis and Daytona will have an impact on the chase field when we get set for Watkins Glen in a few weeks. It is going to be a rapid run to get to that line, and it all just resets. And we end up going through the chase, and it's going to be a very interesting finish of this season. But we are over halfway through here at the end of July. I mean, what a great year it's been so far, JP. Anything memorable from your eyes as we have a few seconds before drivers get to their cars?
I think in terms of memorability, we've seen a lot of comers and goers. Becca Brown in particular has been one of the drivers that stood out to me as a competitor. Zook Strawn, originally set to do part-time or fill-in, has become one of the top competitors in the series coming into tonight. And it's one of those top 5 of the point standings for this evening's coverage here from Iowa. Qualifying already complete minutes ago. Warm-ups just completed now. Here is the first big storyline of tonight. Sean Conklin, the eNASCAR driver, will fill in tonight for Charles Robertson. Anthony Marino Jr. will start in second tonight. Third goes to Landon Kelly and Christian Barnes alongside inside the top 4 today. Dominic Rossi starts in the top 5. Gavin Hinson outside of row number 3. Andy Kirchbauer starts down at 7th today. Then it's Ricky Paz's teammate in 8th position. Cody Anderson on fill-in tonight will start in 9th, and Jack Fiffner is in your top 10.
11th starting spot for Elijah Maupin in the 66, with Dylan Calkins starting in the 12th spot. 13th for John Ullman in the 34. Reggie Kime starts in 14th. 15th for Zachary King, with Zach White to his outside in 16th position. 17th for John Stewart. Dave Billings in 18th position. 19th for David Moyer, and 20th for Adam Holston.
21st will go the way to Brad Collier this evening. Trevor Yates qualified in 22nd. Only 1 hour driver took a time, Jared Knopfsnyder. Then it becomes the heavy hitters from the back of the field. River Hayes 24th. Ashton Crowder was set to start 25th, but didn't register in session. He will have to start from pit road. Beckett Brown is in that same boat here coming into this one. Then you throw it back to some of the others who did not hit the grid. Clayton Good will be just behind some of these drivers, along with Joshua Gillen, who did hit the grid for this evening. Logan Throkeld rounds out the drivers here. He's working in race control for this evening's coverage. So we're getting all set to go for tonight. Let's break things down on your distances. Remember, fuel is going to be tight. We're talking about that. Just enough for stage 1. Stage 2, you will have to pit likely at some point, because it goes to 115, and then it's a 225 total lap race.
And only 6 tire sets as well. That is going to be tight on tires. These things wear out pretty aggressively, even though we have new pavement. Slow pit road speed, very easy to speed on it. Keep in mind, laps 45 and 115, the stages, as you mentioned, 225 laps. Bit of a weird distance here tonight. Let's see who can conquer the cornfields.
It's going to be an interesting one here this evening with some of the various drivers in amongst this pack. Of note, Clayton Good having technical issues off track, not here. Becca Brown not in session either. That's potential swing for points in amongst your top 10 in the standings coming into tonight. Drivers to keep an eye on. Zach White is above the cut coming into tonight, 16th. Ahead of Aaron Baum, who's only made 11 starts this season. Reggie Kime will be the next closest driver, looking to catch up in the point standings, but needs to gain at least 30 to get up to the 77. That in mind here, quick final thoughts or keys to victory in general when it comes to Iowa this evening.
Yeah, tire saving is number 1, first and foremost. Keep the rubber on the car. Secondly is going to be short track tempers. We saw it happen last night. I was in that race, even though you probably didn't see me at all on Green Flag TV. I was there, and it was very easy for drivers to get frustrated being pinned down to the bottom, couldn't finish the corner, a lot of dooring each other up off the exit. That will play an effect tonight over 225 laps. And just understand who you're racing against. Don't put yourself in a bad spot if you don't have to.
I'll be happy with this for tonight's coverage here on VSPEED. It's the Slim Chickens Cup Series. Set to go from Iowa. Green flag is out. We're underway from Newton. Conklin clears down the back straightaway to start ahead of Marino Jr. Barnes already a third, and already a little bit of shuffling from how well the inside line started. At least 3 drivers do not take the green flag. Crowder still on pit road from starting from the pit lane. Will come out just in front of your leaders as the rest of the drivers try and get to the bottom.
Yeah, right now is a fight to get to the inside of the racetrack. Rossi got there. They're stacking up behind him as well. 3 wide with King in the middle. Ullman. That's the 92 of Cody Anderson. Trying to get around the 34. These guys are hemorrhaging time right now. Just, oh, what a slide in front of the 34. That was a dangerous move this early in the race.
Drivers getting a little bit bold, if you will, early on. Christian Barnes amongst those getting a whirl. See right now, trying to find a way to attack Kelly. The thing is, you want to stay in the new pavement when it comes to this facility. You're out of that new pavement, you're in a little bit of trouble, to say the very least. You got to be smart with your racing line tonight.
And massive bumps into turn 1. If you're even half a lane too high from the entry, you'll find yourself bobbling up the racetrack, and it is unpleasant.
Yep, you just do not have the same feel as you did back in the day, where it was the old pavement all around here at this facility. That in mind, as you see how things are working for Hinson, he's taking his time as Kirchenbauer knocks down the wall, the 5 with a bit of contact. There goes the drop for the 39, though, is some of these drivers just trying to preserve the tires. Think big picture here.
Yeah, we're only 5 laps in. We have an excruciating long way to go in this race. Even in the stage, I mean, there is no reason to be pushing at all, considering we're tight on fuel as it is. Just let it ride, let it come to you, and if you got something after 25 laps, go get them.
A lot of these drivers just trying to see where everything's going to stand, you have to feel, very least with how things are looking early on in the run. That in mind here, Zach White amongst those on the attack. Down in the back half of the field, you have River Hayes amongst those. Still trying to make some progress after not putting up a qualifying time tonight.
I think the same thing happened to Hayes last night, where he invalidated both of his laps by hitting the wall on the exit 4. I think the same thing happened here tonight, but he still was able to drive to the field, get a great result last night. I expect the same here this evening.
I'm expecting him to be strong. He is one of the stronger short track racers when it comes to the series, absolutely, for good reason. Now that being said here, as the entire field trying to sort itself about, one of the things we seen last night in the Castle Glass Company series was the pole sitter found a way to pull away. Conklin's already up by near a second, and we're only 9 laps in. That 17 going to be difficult to beat because of his eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series experience.
Yeah, I mean, this is the guy that we talk about constantly, or we will tomorrow, I should say, in the FLCC Full-Length Cup Challenge on Oconee. I mean, the dude's won like 8 times in that series, and that's one of the best series on iRacing in terms of just raw talent. So, yeah, it's not going to be an easy task for any of these drivers to get the job done tonight. I am fascinated to see the battle we're seeing on the screen right now between the 17 and the 44 should have come to fruition. Crowder is the first car and only car 1 lap down, trying to hound the leader at the moment and doing a great job of it.
Definitely agree with that so far with the way things are going. Just trying to provide some pressure, stay in position to get a lap back. That in mind here, you see some of those battling. Where is amongst those in the field tonight in the 47? Still see Hayes trying to plug away these spots. Just got around Holston and Reggie Kind there. Right now, for reference, Hayes is running 23.6s. The leader is running 23.2s.
Couple bad exits off of turn 2 here for the 93 and the 66. They were way up the groove. Again, mopping, not even going to think about using a good pavement, just way up to the top side. Put in the fence a little bit there. Scrapping already. We got a battle for third as well.
Yeah, we talked about the 27 trying to plug away to get a spot. Got one here. It's going to be Christian Barnes making the move. Barnes able to clear and able to jump up in front of Landon Kelly. Result of that swap around. Kelly has been pretty solid in when we've seen Kelly make some starts in this series this season. Starting off strong with the track position. We'll see if that lasts in the big picture.
And we're starting to see tires make a difference. Oh, that's Gerkenbauer up in the fence. We're starting to see tires make a difference. Sorry, JP, just because of how many drivers are swapping spots further back through the field. 15 laps is about that number where if you burned them off, you're going to feel it.
Drivers saying big saves on the radio. Zachary King, one of the drivers, traded some paint yesterday, but is going to make the pass here on Jack Fiftner. He's now up to the 9th position as a result. King, pretty solid this season on some of the short tracks. He's looking pretty speedy here. Up 6 already. One of your bigger movers.
Yeah, biggest mover of the day so far. Not surprised, is River Hayes, who has gone up 9 positions so far in this one. Driver in front of him, Trevor Yates, is up 8.
Both of them able to really capitalize to get track position here as the night's moved on. Yates, again, has made some appearances here in this series this season. Continuing that on here tonight. Plugging away with River Hayes ready to attack to the inside. Hayes, much quicker. The 81's just about got it, but Cody Anderson to also catch up to, who's in the ideal camp tonight.
And I think River Hayes just showed how you get around this racetrack quickly as Anderson just pops the wall off of turn 2. It is entirely right there. Center of the corner is where you make lap time. It took me so long last night to figure that out, but we finally got there to end the race understanding that that's where the speed is. And if you roll more center speed, you are just a rocket ship off the corner because you don't have to compromise exit to roll more center.
Right now, Hayes, as a result of that center roll, plugging away. Ed going to move up to the 12th position as a result. So River Hayes continues to go on the move, about 20 laps in this time by so far. So obviously, things taking a bit of a calmer beginning to this race, it almost feels like here. Obviously, you're picking up information on how these drivers are going to race for later, how this is going to go. What's kind of going through your mindset as some of these drivers just try and get the track position set up for stage 2?
I'm not thinking about track position at all right now, if I'm being totally honest with you. It is entirely about saving tires. Because the first run of the race is your barometer for the rest of the day. If you saved really well on the first run, you know that's what you have to do for the rest of the race. If you push too hard, now you spend all of stage 2 doing what you should have learned in stage 1, which is how well do I have to save tires to be fast at the end. So now you put yourself 45 laps behind everybody else because they've already probably figured it out. So that's what I'm thinking about right now is just save stuff, get to the pit stop, and check to see how well I did.
Really speaking, when it comes to all this, all I can say to that end as well is just plug away as well, figure out what you can do. Right now, it's worth noting, Crowder is matching the pace of Conkle, and they're the only 2 drivers not in the 24-second bracket on speed.
He's more than matching. He has closed that gap up, and I think he's just kind of researching at the moment. See, he has had opportunities to get around the 17, considering it is a first car 1 lap down. No reason to really defend all that hard. I think this is really just a cat and mouse game at the front and tail of the field at the same time.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting if the 44 finds itself up here again later today after swinging on the golf courses earlier, and it's the reason having to start from pit road. If the 44 is able to try and take away the spot, it's a chance to prove who's the best with the heavy hitters here. All to say, River Hayes is the 3rd car in that equation, who's now already up in the conversation for the top 10. Fiftner, will he give up the inside easily? Not yet, because he's trying to set up the move on the 5 actually.
Kirkenbauer is parking the bus in the center of the corner. This 5 has really started to lose speed center off. Even on entry, having to give it up, he's pretty snug. Let's have a look at the in-car. Look how much wheel he's got in it. Go on board with Hayes right after this will tell you exactly how snug this car is. Yeah, that's a lot of wheel. And now to Hayes, into turn 3. Look how much less wheel he has in that car. Gets there a little bit in the middle of the corner, then straightens it back out. But
Yep, look at Calkins again, a bit of a different line, just about squeezed in. You remember Calkins last night traded paint a few times with a couple different drivers. Did not make too many friends as he tried to hold on to the racetrack. The 54 tonight. Keeping things calm so far outside of that previous move. Will now attack Biffner at the very least as the 5 is under attack by the 92.
this racetrack just provides such great racing side by side. You're able to roll speed on the bottom, but you can't get the exit. You can gain a little bit right here as Kirkenbauer, what a slide job into the corner on the 92, trying something. He gained in the middle, but lost it all on the exit. Here comes the 92 back to the rear bumper. But higher up the racetrack this time for the 5, still under fire from Cody Anderson, who won earlier this week in Knoxville.
Yep, indeed, and it's been looking pretty solid so far. How things have looked here today for a couple of the drivers, absolutely, as a result. Now, the funny thing is going to be, overall, when it comes to a track like Iowa, can some of the drivers like Zach White keep themselves out of trouble? Last time on short track was a roller coaster. Last night at the Castle, the last Company Series, one incident involved in all night. He's one of those, I think he is in the wrong gear and he is struggling to turn. He's kept in 5th gear. Somebody could tell him he could shift.
That probably would help. Also, the new pavement would also be helpful. We have drivers way off pace here. You guys really starting to struggle with tires. Brad Collier is one of them. Maupin and Stellard are another 2 that have gone the wrong direction since this race started. Kirkenbauer as well. Kirkenbauer, I think, is one of the biggest droppers in the race. Knopfschneider has blown a tire.
How do you manage that in 34 laps? I don't know. He's coming down.
It's a meatball flag. It's got to be for blowing a tire. I don't see any damage on the car. That's unreal. If that's the case, yeah, that car looks perfect. Unless he money shifted.
Yeah, obviously,
no
big happening. Yeah.
Wow.
Said pitting, no smoke. Just destroyed his tires with the way he was driving the track, I guess. All to say, take a look at some of the battling. Holston in the field in the 2 car tonight. One of the numbers we've seen with Aaron Baum earlier this season. Of course, no Aaron for a while now. Holston at least trying to get some owner's points here.
Yeah, Holston has really been the savior of DAM Motorsports this season across both of their top 2 series. Because he has run, I think, every car number available across both of the series just to keep owners' points continually flowing. He's one of the very few drivers who started every race across both series. He's doing exactly what he has to do as a teammate and as a driver to do that. Just wished he had a little bit of help for owners' points because it might all be for Knott, who's the only one who's working for it. Indy Kirkenbauer just plastered the outside wall off the corner, and that thing is hurt.
Yeah,
There's 3 wide in front of him. My goodness.
Holston going for it. 55 zips behind Yates. And a couple spots lost as Fiffner continues to go backwards here.
Holston and Yates both on the move. That's 8 and 9 respectively for those 2 drivers in terms of spots gained. Only Gillen's gained more. And sorry, Hayes has gained the most in 16, or with 16, but Gillen's also gained 10.
Difference in comers and goers, I guess you can say here for a couple of these drivers. Gillen just trying to ride and mind his time here. 17th currently, 22 seconds behind the leader. Pen Machine with a different paint scheme here tonight. Actually is in the top 10 of the point standings with 10 top 10s on the season. Tonight, a little bit more of a challenge, it feels like, for the Spy versus Spy car.
Yeah, top 20, I think, is something he'd be pleased with this early in the race anyway. Again, we're just trying to see where we're at. That's all that stage 1 is really for, as Hinson trying to make a move on Ricky Paz for the top 5. Get a stage point for the 39. Ullman, meatball flag. Looks like a tire failure as well. Zach White, meatball flag. Looks like a tire failure as well. That thing definitely is a tire failure. Right front's gone on the 77.
He's got to get down, and he can't get down.
Right in front of King.
Zachary King did get to the outside at least. 77 is already pitting. John Ullman has indicated needing a pit as well, as you were mentioning.
Unreal.
So of note, Becca Brown made the race, by the way. So we've lost a few cars to tire failures, but we did pick up a car.
Stellard also just has a tire failure.
Oh my goodness. That's one of the fill-in drivers here tonight. What's causing all these tire failures here with a few laps to go in the stage run, or 5 laps to go in it?
I don't know if 6 is going to be enough tire sets for the race here. Yeah, where did the 45 come from? That car 35 laps down appeared out of nowhere as we got a battle for second, Marino Jr. and Barnes. Barnes has really found speed here this weekend. This car up a couple spots, but at the sharp end of the stick. About 8 seconds behind Conklin.
So already pit road is closed. Conklin continuing to control things for those just tuning in here. He's already got himself in door baiting competition with Joshua Gillen, who nearly turned him around. Barnes still holding back Marino Jr. and company. So the 10 got a bit physical with your race leader. That's making its way already to 1 to go, as you see some of the others just trying to find a way to let the leaders go. Everybody's starting to continuously pop tires, including the 5.
Bauer as well blew a tire out. But Conklin, final lap in stage number 1.
Sean Conklin immediately putting everybody to task. 8 seconds and 45 laps. Sean Conklin dominant the start, but the caution is out.
Biffner, Billings. I think we had a crash, potentially. They might have just been a little too quick on the button, I think is all it was. But yeah, Biffner blew a tire. Billings blew a tire. I don't see anyone who would have spun to bring out the yellow.
That was definitely quick on the button, I think, if that's the case here.
I think they threw it after the first place car, not the 10th place car. Easy mistake to make. I'm sure that's all it was for race control here today. Interim race control. Logan Threlkeld making sure we keep it all safe on the racetrack.
That technically reduces a pace lap here. And
it does.
Remember, in Caswell Glass Company racing action, they went about 5 pace laps per caution.
Sure did.
Will we see that from Logan tonight? We'll see, as everyone's in.
Yeah, already on pit road. Don't want to mess with it at all. Top 10, Conklin, Barnes, Marino Jr., Kelly, Hinson, Paz, Hayes, King, Holston, and Calkins getting stage points here this evening in stage number 1.
Not bad, as Conklin misses part of his pit stall, but he had a big advantage. Doesn't matter here. Everyone else making their way into the stalls. Who wins the race off pit road? We already have a couple different calls here. Remember, one of the talking points in the past week already, iRacing made a mid-season update. Pit stop times now 10 seconds, like in real life, for a 4-tire change. Remember, the record is about 9 seconds in real life. So, a lot more quicker pit stops expected. It's basically the time of what you would see for a 2-tire stop now to take 4 with a single lug nut. It only took 4 or 5 years for iRacing to implement.
Yeah, other priorities, I suppose. It is what it is. Well,
hey,
stage 1 in the books already, JP. Clean and green, just like we saw last night, but a very different flavor to this one than last night with all the tire failures. What's your takeaway so far?
I mean, I don't know about you, but my takeaway is Sean Conklin kind of at the expectation is going to be hard to beat here because he's one of the best drivers in the open side when he runs in those under the Ryko brand to dominate those races. He's been looking pretty solid in the NASCAR competition this year. What I'm trying to say is Crowder might have is in an interesting spot where he has the speed to match up, but does anyone else have it? I don't know.
I think Hayes will be in the ballpark with those two when he gets there, and he will get there at some point in this run. I think we're at the stage, sorry, not the stage, the choose this time by, potentially. And beyond that, Christian Barnes has shown speed so far today. Landon Kelly's shown speed as well. I'm interested to see when everyone gets together in the top 5, what does the battle look like? Was that the choose? Because if it was, definitely had some drivers not choose correctly.
That was 2 to green, not the choose.
Understood.
By the way, EOL under the caution period going to Dave Billings. Choose will be this time by the start and finish line. There were little choose issues last night for drivers here at Iowa. See if anything happens this time. Again, reset your top 10 coming into the choose is Conklin, Barnes, Kelly, Hinson, Paz. Then Hayes, King, Yates, Holston, Anderson. Once your top 10. Interesting stat line. Conklin is in the 8th spot of the eNASCAR points, yet to lead a lap this season with 2 top 10s. Just about a majority of the series, with the way things have gone in the early parts of the year, has no more than half the rate of top 10s anyhow. What I'm trying to say is eNASCAR has been wildly back and forth on just who finishes where this season. Of course, coming off a interesting night, let's put it that way, in Indy.
Well, you gotta love parity. You know, parity's a good thing in sports.
Steven Wilson's dominating.
People have been clamoring for parity in sports forever, it seems like. And, I mean, parity is more than just who wins. It's also who runs well. So, that's nice to see, I suppose. Regardless, let's get this thing back underway. Pace car, lights are out. Conklin and Barnes on the front row.
Find out how this goes. For reference, Crowder will start about 15. Restart. For those want to keep that in your notebooks. The outside line's going. We're back on our way. Hinson really capitalizing. Barnes, what's going on here? Lane change possibly for the 95. But remember, that is under review, and it was a overturn penalty from a race previously in the series in the MRL.
That's right. That was in this series as well at Atlanta when we had a win taken away, then given back later in the week. I'm sure that was under review. That was a bit of an iffy restart, just the way that it all kind of shook out. But it's led to this interesting battle for the back half of the top 10. Barnes falling like a rock. King, Hayes, that's Yates as well, all fighting just outside the top 5.
Remember, racing a 1:15, so this stage will have the pit, but the caution flag is out. It's involving Marino Jr. He's down at 14th after being up at the front previously. He met Jared Knoxnider.
He had an exceptionally long pit stop.
Kind of tells he might have some damage or had to go somewhere. Well, he's going somewhere now to the back.
Yeah, I don't really know what the 82 was doing there. That is just simply not the line you run here. And he just cleaned out the 48.
Yeah, it was well down the track.
And trying to take like a straight entry into the corner when Marino was trying to arc it in from the high side, which is what you normally do here.
Yep.
Yeah, entered low, went middle versus... And he didn't, I mean, Marino entered high for sure, don't get me wrong, but you just don't expect the guy who's entering on the bottom to run the middle of the racetrack in that situation.
Exactly. EOL Marino Jr. is the call for a turn down.
Interesting.
I can see a race control hat coming out.
So it's, you know, it's not my, it's not my show. I see how that call could happen, for sure. Probably not the call I would have made, but that doesn't matter. That's irrelevant in the situation.
Well, it's Santa. He gets to deliver presents, so if you disagree, you get called.
That's right. That's right. Better be nice to Santa.
Either way, as Maria Jr. is asking for an appeal already, Fiftner got the lucky dog. Landon Kelly, I think, is coming back down pit road, so something was happening with the 95 as well, apparently, in that situation. He's already indicated he's coming down pit road with whatever happened to him. Regardless here, this will allow the drivers to save a little bit of gas, and remember, about pit stops we're expecting here with the fuel mileage range by about lap 100. We're talking about 15-20 laps to go if we go the distance here in the stage.
And I believe that Kelly and King are coming down to top off with fuel. They just were down the last lap for a 4-second stop each. Apologies. I think that was, again, just for a little bit of fuel to try and stretch it as much as they can.
Want to try and stay out there because, again, do you blame them? Just in case there's a caution flag, it definitely puts you into a spot where go out there longer, somebody spins, guess what, you're the leader, and boom, everyone's pinned a lap down.
And yeah, now they're only about 10 laps shy. So 3 yellows, and you're pretty much in the ballpark. Of course, you'd probably pit under those 3 yellows, but regardless, you get a lot closer than everyone who just stayed out. Conklin, Hinson, Paz, Barnes, etc.
Obviously, as they all try and get things sorted out here. Ricky Paz, one driver that's looking pretty strong again here tonight. Remember, won at Nashville and was a driver up at the front at the Chicago Street Course. One of those who's made some appearances in that 99 and has looked strong in them each time so far in the past little bit.
For sure. You want to drag someone up here, have a chat with them up here in the VSPEED booth?
Why don't we?
Who do you think? Who's a good candidate to have a chat with?
Why don't we chat with driver that is currently running in second, I believe, 2 to green here. Will be quick with
Gavin Hinson.
Yes, indeed. Gavin Hinson.
Yeah.
And somehow River Hayes also ended up here.
Oh,
let's
we got
go back.
2 people here. Hello.
Oh, hello.
Okay, let's sort this out here. Rock, paper, scissors. Scissors says Gavin. Gavin, how are you feeling about the car?
Feeling pretty good at the moment. I think 17 just had a choose violation, so that's pretty cool.
Oh.
He'll get the lead here, so.
Yes, he did.
How does that make you feel?
I don't know. It doesn't really change anything. Just gonna try to get clean air maybe, and just log some laps. You know, just try to save tire, try to execute, and see what happens.
They have cleared the 17. Others are trying to appeal here, so let you get back going here. Thank you for the time. We got to get you to the restart.
Thank you.
There's a lot of discussion here because that was up the middle, but there was a ruling that it was clear, that was fair. Anyhow, we're coming up to the restart. Lap 59, we're back on our way.
The 17 gets incredible restarts. Control car helps for sure. But I mean, that's 5 car lengths before we even get to turn 1. It is not particularly close.
Yeah, Hinson really capitalized when he was on the outside this time. Didn't get the chance to. Barnes struggled off to start so far.
We're 3 wide further back. I can't do who that is. Oh, it's the 5, Kirkenbauer, all the way up on the top of the racetrack as we're starting to go 2 wide throughout the field further back.
Look at that 45.
Somebody just knocked the fence down. I can't tell who that was. Hawkins, maybe?
See, we're still green as things go about here, as all these drivers rumble the way through. That being said here, was about to say, a few drivers like the 45 are flying to the field. Others just trying to bide their time. Ricky Paz is up to third. He's past Barnes as well.
Well, you mentioned the 45. He doesn't have a ton to race for. He is 34 laps down, so he can really do whatever he wants. It's probably not going to change his outcome very much. So, and it is what it is for Beckett Brown at the moment. Late entry to the field and paying the price of that. Oh, it's the 28 car who caught the wall for turn 2 last time. Collier, battle for 20th on your screen.
He is one of those struggling to turn the race car right now, way up in the old pavement. Not going to work here this year. Ullman, and will slide up in front. That's for 20th at the moment. As things look here early on, Ricky Paz trying to size up Hinson. See, he's got a big gap. They've already got at least between 3rd and 4th. So they got some time to play with. Downside, they need to find a way to close 1.5 seconds. They're losing a 10th a straightaway.
Yeah, that Conklin guy is pretty good. It's pretty quick.
Yeah, I know there's some conversation on, okay, this driver's here. I guess we're not going ahead, but the counterpoint is, how do I say this in a polite way? Is there the term get good? Is that a rude way to say it?
I mean, yes. But like I understand both the league's perspective of best talent possible is always a good thing. Fast drivers are never a bad thing to have in the series because it elevates everybody. Let's just look at last year. Christian Barnes won every championship last year.
Yeah.
He's only won a couple races this year, 2, I think, across the 4 series, including IndyCar, which he didn't win championship in last year, but like he hasn't been as effective as he was last year. And I think that's because we see guys like, well, today Sean Conklin, but we've also got Ricky Paz, River Hayes, Trevor Yates, etc., Ashton Crowder going throughout the field. There's more, of course. I'm not going to list the whole field. But we've got drivers who are elevating everybody's game, teaching everybody more. But at the same time, if you're a driver who, and I'll use myself in this example, just doesn't have a lot of time to be able to practice these things and run all the races and gather all the experience and analyze all the data that these drivers who are very, very good do, or have backing of, say, RFK on their esports side, it can be demoralizing to go out here and say, I'm no longer racing for a win, I'm racing for the scraps of the top 5. It's demoralizing, I get it. There's a balance somewhere, and somebody's got to give, and it really is a compromise from everybody involved of what you expect out of these events is going to make a world of difference in the way you exit these races.
And you mentioned, of course, wanting to elevate the talent level. Absolutely, that is the thought. Because if you want your league to grow to become one of the best leagues, you have to be able to draw in talent and retain that talent. And that's what we're starting to see with some of the drivers, at the very least, making some starts over the course of the summer especially. Some of those coming over from the IndyCar side, some of them that originally started the short track that were interested in trying this series. There's a lot more interest being built up here. Yes, it can shake up the core, if you will, but at the same time, it's an evolution on if you want to be considered a crown jewel league to be in, you need to have crown jewel drivers to be able to compete.
Yeah, agree with that, certainly.
So all this is to say, as they all continue to work around, the funny thing is in that conversation too, on a side note, somebody needs to get Yates a my rating. He's at a 1900. So, but kind of also shows some just focus on the league side.
That's right.
And you put him in a good position once in a league race. You have a Trevor Yates situation where he is outperforming those in the 6,000s right now, if you were thinking about official race.
Trevor Yates has been the ascension of his results, I would say, have just been remarkable this year. Started off running in the truck series, I don't think he ran the full season. Kentucky's where I first remember him, but he ran before that. But he was like a top 10, like fringe top 10 car, top 15 is kind of where Trevor Yates, where you'd find him. All of a sudden that Kentucky race happened. I think he got the job done there, and then he ended up running very well in a few other races. And all of a sudden, this 71, well, 10 on your screen, has just found speed everywhere we've went. I think that was a big shot in the arm, big boost of confidence for him, and something unlocked a little bit more speed in Trevor Yates, and he's showing it every week now.
Crowder, by the way, passing on by. He's only slowly plugged away at these spots, by the way. Last night in Caswell Glass Company Series equipment, he was the king of the long run, saving the tire. Curious how this is going to work this race, because he's having a harder time, it feels like, actually making his way to the field. He's only a 10th, if that, quicker than a lot of these cars, and that's not going to get you places.
Yeah, that is true. That is certainly true. You got to remember, this is also a stage where you do have to make a pit stop. So you don't exactly know what he's thinking in terms of fuel mileage. Is he saving fuel as well to push it a little bit further? Or what does that look like for the 44 and in relation to everybody else? Because we're under now 40 laps to the completion of the stage. We are in the window, ladies and gentlemen, for pit stops. Who will be the first one to bring it down pit road?
Yeah, that's going to be a huge question coming up here as we're about 15, 20 laps away when we expect pit party brigades to open up here. But do you take it that late in case you don't have to leave enough runway to come back? There's a lot of ways you can do this, but it all depends on how much do you trust your competitors here to keep it green. Much of the field is keeping it calm, though, like right here. This is one of the first side-by-side battles on the track.
This is the only side-by-side battle on the racetrack, and this is for 21st.
There is one between a lap car and leader as well, but it kind of just showcases most of the field's getting to a rhythm.
This racetrack, I don't know what it is about Iowa. It happened last night too, where it just makes you like drive green flag runs. I don't know why. Like the first 45 laps of that race were green. I think the second 45 were also green. I don't think we saw cautions really until the final stage. And then they came in a bunch there at the end. But for the most part, this racetrack really promotes green flag racing and very little contact, which is nice.
Yeah, there's definitely a good reminiscent history of just not too many cautions coming out here unless the field really bends itself. In a lot of cases, when the Cup cars started coming here a few years ago in official races, remember running a couple of those, you get long runs of at least 70, 80 laps on average before someone makes a mistake. Keep in mind as well, remember in the old Iowa, keep in mind you could battle for so long and still can a little bit here, where you could spend the whole race side by side. Literally have that happen.
That's right.
Back around 2018-19 in an open race with Dalton Millam, I think it was at the time, where one was on the inside, one was on the outside, never cleared each other the whole entire run. If that happened in a league race today, everyone would be stunned. But kind of showcases it takes some time to plug away at these spots. Now it's a more bottom feeder track, so you can't get as much of an established side-by-side that long.
Yeah, the repaving did change the way that you drive this place. The good news is that they repaved 3 lanes of this racetrack and not just the bottom, or else this thing would be a bottom feeder racetrack for many years. Now it'll probably only be, at least in real life, a few years until it starts to move up off the bottom in the sim, until they, I suppose, update it again or make a change to the cars or whatever have you. But at least for now, bottom is where you prefer to be, but you can run the high side and make that guy's life miserable, as we see the 93 with major nose damage. Olston on pit road, first one.
He opens the pit window here for service. Stillard having the whole front end crushed in already as the lap car. It's not been a good fill-in for him. Heard something maybe from Gavin Hinson, but he's going to keep driving it around. 92, this time by, is confirmed though, as Holston's finished up a 7-second pit stop. Now, question, has race control from last night told you drivers should pit off turn 3 or turn 4?
I have heard nothing. I would assume just turn 4.
So why are we pitting off turn 3? back-to-back nights.
Maybe just for the love of the game. I put off turn 4 last night. I didn't put off turn 3.
Yeah. So some of the drivers are taking a situation where they're losing themselves 3 seconds here with this call.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Just safety potentially. Maybe they feel like it's like Richmond. It doesn't have that line that brings you from the middle of the racetrack to the bottom like Richmond does. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I usually cross the line around the 3 mark on the paint on the inside of the racetrack and pit from there. Race control could say something differently. I'm not sure. I'm not privy to that conversation. But we'll see the rest of the way here if that continues, if that changes.
5's coming in this time by the way, for service. The lead, about similar to that, what it was in the previous stage. River Hayes has caught up to Paz, by the way. Paz running 2/10 off Hinson and Hayes' pace last time by. 99 starting to get to a tough spot for the tires here in the votive entry. Looking to defend at the very least before they come in. Conklin is in this time.
Conklin already on pit road.
Yep, 17. Take the spot, service rather. And this will give him about 25 laps to work with. Shouldn't be too bad of an amount to work with.
Yeah, we should see a lot of cars hit pit road here in the next few laps because we are right at the edge of the pit window. They said 45, 50 pre-race. We're only 5 or so laps away from that 50 lap mark on this run.
Fall off over the course of the run, only 1.2 seconds for a majority of the front runners. River Hayes stays out, passes in. Trevor Yates was all over the racetrack down the front stretch. For whatever reason, snapped down to the bottom that came back up the top. Already, though, as more drivers continue their services here, we'll find out where things fully cycle here. Yates has now clapped the wall, by the way, to add to the issues for the 10 car. Hayes still stays third. Crowder currently the leader. Take a look at that 10. One lap he goes low, then the next corner slams the outside wall. The 10 has all of a sudden fallen apart here.
And I can confirm the exit of turn 4. There's a bit of a bump right after. Well, let's see, that was a turn 3, or turn 4, I should say, entry to pit road. A pretty good one at that. But there is a bump right where those cars exit the new pavement onto the old. If you're full throttle at that point and it's got a little bit of wheel on it, that thing will start to hop on you. Very easy to get sideways, hit the wall, spin, whatever have you.
We see not too many people bobble off that like we normally would. Crowder coming down this time by is the indication, by the way.
Moyer as well.
So this continues on the flurry. The 44 is now on the brakes. Now we'll see Hinson take over the race lead possibly. Yes, it will. So the 39 getting up at the front for some lead laps here, possibly. Yes, indeed. First lead lap on the board on the night for Hinson.
Yeah, really solid day for Gavin so far. Talked to him through that last caution when he was running second. Fell back a little bit on the run, but leading at this point of it. Curious when he's going to come down pit road. Looks like 2 laps left, potentially maybe add a few more because of the caution. So maybe 4 more laps before we see everybody on pit road.
I'll say we do have a variety of different strategies here. It's important to mention some 2-tire calls here. Conklin is amongst those that took 2. We also had Adam Holston take 2. Gillen is still running after a top off. But a few of these teams did not take 4 tires, Morgan, is the point I'm trying to make here, to gain a little bit of time on the racetrack with the way the left sides aren't falling off as hard as they normally would at some of the air tracks.
I think that's a great call because we're only going to have, especially if you pit now, 15 laps to the end of the run. I mean, if you can't hang on 15 laps on 2 tires, then there's something real wrong with how that car is handling. So 2 tires at that point, I think, is a good decision. We're seeing Conklin try and carve through the field. He should inherit the lead back over, it looks like Holston would be second in this cycle, though he is a solid 9 seconds back, something like that.
Yep. Looks to be the right interval here. And Holston is the first car lap down if someone was to snap around here.
right.
So you better figure out a way, a couple of these cases, to keep it clean. Ricky Paz, amongst those that took service, he'd be second. He did cycle ahead of Crowder, by the way.
Crowder took 4.
Yeah, they both took 10-second pit stops. But Crowder is closing up already. Mind you, the difference on tires, 4 laps.
Right. Yeah, that 1.2 seconds you mentioned for 4 laps. I mean, you do that math, it's almost 5 seconds. So will leapfrog you in front of some people that you hadn't really seen in the race so far, as Zachary King got passed by the 2 of Holston. King has yet to pit. He's trying to stretch this thing out on fuel. I don't think he's going to get there for 15 more laps.
Taking a gamble here to being a front runner last night in the Council Boss Company Series racing action. Reggie Kime missed pit road again. Believe that's now the 3rd or 4th different track he's had an issue on pit road entry. He just slid it.
Watch Kime time, trying to get to pit road.
It's not the first track he's missed pit road like this, too. It feels like this season.
Is not the easiest pit road to get onto either. It wasn't that. Oh, he got in the marbles.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, too.
Yeah. Really, he wasn't like that late on the brakes either. Like, he wasn't all that far off. Simpson's on pit road. I think that's Stellard as well. Just pushed a little too hard, got in the marbles, and then it just went straight under braking. Hayes the leader, Barnes in second. This is the battle for the lead at the moment. Somebody got sideways coming to pit road. Zach White, I think it was.
Yeah, made it to pit road. He's already at the back of the order for now. As Barnes actually finding a way for a moment at least to fight off with the 81 here. This is actually for the current lead.
There goes Hayes to pit road. I think that's probably why we saw that. Hayes wanted the bottom, not the top, into turn 3. Orange new leader.
But for how long? He's already at 58 laps here. This is a little bit longer than the range, to say the very least, we projected. He's coming in now.
Yeah, I think that the pace falling off has changed the way that we expect the fuel mileage to be here.
Does change the black box depending on how much you can save. I know
right.
With the full tank, you can extend an extra 10 laps depending on how well you drive it.
We pretty much got there in this one. We got Conklin back to the point. Looks like Crowder will cycle out second in front of Barnes, but that gap is quite substantial. Be about 6 seconds or so when it's over. No, make that 13 seconds, in fact.
Oh, and where's Crowder?
Crowder disappeared. He gone.
Technical issue for Crowder all of a sudden.
You bet.
And there was a strong chance he'd be battling for the race lead here in stage 3. Not anymore. It looks like he's dipping with the connection.
Yeah,
the connection qualities drop below 45.
Something has gone awry. With Ashton Crowder been gone for a lap now, I don't think he's coming back. Gillen has had a problem. He's on pit road. I think that's scheduled. It is scheduled for Gillen.
He was one of the top offs. I was about to say we have 2 drivers that are trying to stretch it 7 more laps here. We've seen Marino getting passed before the technical issue by Crowder. Landon Kelly's in second with a 7-second buffer also.
And remember, they're trying to go 58. We just saw Barnes go 58. The math says it's possible. But how diligent were you on the throttle pedal throughout the run? Being very cautious is Landon Kelly.
Doesn't want to wreck it, doesn't want to run out of gas. 95 in, he can't make it. He can only make it a 5 to go. That's not a good sign for Marino Jr., let's put it that way either.
Yeah, next driver will be the 48. This is one of those Hail Mary sort of situations. Remember, he had the long pit stop, had the spin, got the damage, was running up in the top 5 before the incidents happened. Now trying to get track position back in this one, but hemorrhaging time. Zachary King's going to get around him. King hasn't pit either. In fact, he's another one of those drivers who is staying out all the way to the end. Trying to anyway.
Yeah, he's all right past Marino Jr. out of those who are trying to stretch it. 55 laps this time to the run.
Remember
no
Pocono
sign.
for the 51. He did the same thing.
I mean, it's a way to pick up points, right? Get some more points, help out your situation. He's 13th in the standings. Kind of needs to.
Yeah, meatball for the 54 here. Blown tire for Calkins.
And Calkins is asking, can I get it waived? So I don't think he realizes it's a black flag for blown tire.
Unfortunately, that is not a waivable offense here. Only black flags waived or for passing under yellow because of the shoes.
So, yeah, that's wild. If in real life you said, oh, there's a blown tire, let's wave the flag away and fix my car. It obviously doesn't work like that in the sim either, but we're under 2 to go.
Yeah, this is looking increasingly likely that he can go the just under a mile distance to get back to the flag with a top 5 for Zachary King. Antonino Jr. meatball flag. No more top 5 for him.
Oh, hold on. That's within 3 laps to serve it, though. He might make this.
That car is so slow in the center.
The caution is going to save him because if he gets the service dealt with, I think he's good to go. Sean Conklin, meanwhile, stage is over. Takes it. Ricky Paz, Adam Holston. Then you have Zachary King, Trevor Yates. Marino Jr. is stopping on the track nearly. He's got a huge problem. Caution is out. Marino got 7 in front of Hinson, Moyer, and Rossi. But Marino Jr. is struggling to get around the track, and only 4 cars are on the lead lap. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, we just saw Conklin finish right behind King in that stage. Unreal, the speed that this 17 has. And that is going to be another sweep we see this season, this time for Sean Conklin. 3 cautions, 5 lead changes, and get the broom out for the 17.
Somebody find Ken Byron and get him on the radios because
yeah.
this
is
is
Dylan Calkins DQ'd because he didn't serve the meatball flag.
Oh my.
Oh,
by the
goodness.
way, most importantly, you might have to take a look at a replay here with all the calamity.
Sure.
Conklin did get into the door of King as he was trying to make it around and got damage and got squished in the wall.
Oh, that is pretty heavy damage too.
The caution.
All right, I think we're going to see it right here. Has it already happened here? Yes, he's already got it.
It'd be, again, after he took the flag, right here. He's already taken the flag. They're still waiting for the yellow, still waiting for the yellow. Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
He actually came down a bit.
Oh, my goodness. But, I mean, yes, because you have to not hit the wall yourself as a car on the outside. But, I mean, there was a country mile to the inside of the 51. I just don't know what we're doing there. Like, I get the 10's down there, but look how much space there is. And he's not even beside the 10. Now there's 1 car length. I mean, the 10 gave him half a car length, or half a car width, I should say. By the time they made contact, I mean, that is going to put a serious damper on the 17's day with the amount of damage to the left front and right front of that car.
His chances of winning this race just took a massive hit, by the way.
They did.
Because that he needs
Yeah,
at
that car
least.
is mangled at the front.
He just spent nearly a minute down pit road, and it's not even close to
No,
fixed.
that was probably a 4 or 5 minute repair that's required. I mean, the only good news for him is that there's only like 8 cars now on the lead lap. I think it's actually up to 11 now. So that's the good news for him. Well, yeah, that's unreal. And we can confirm that the 54 DQ was an iRacing DQ for not serving The meatball flag.
Yep, forgot to serve the meatballs on a spaghetti.
Unreal.
And ends off his night. Again, because of the time of the caution flag from Reno Jr.'s meatball flag, he was able to get that dealt with. And Conklin will come back down and get more repairs done. The biggest thing for Conklin is there's only 4 cars that are going to be grouped together here. He might get pushed behind just in front of the wave around cars here of Yates, Barnes, Rossi, Moyer, Hayes.
I think
Fiftner,
Moyer
and
actually
Kelly.
has called it quits for the night as well.
Wow, yes, you're right. He just left the session. And I think Yates has to let everybody go anyway.
Yeah, this stuff is wild.
So here's my question. How much speed is still in that 17 car? Because that's going to be a huge question. Is there chassis damage? Is this going to be an issue for steering? How's the downforce going to be? There's so many questions here. Until he gets this car fixed, he needs cautious precautions to really help himself. There go the wave arounds, in fact. He's going to be behind the wave around, some of the wave arounds possibly, or at least in a spot where some of the wave arounds are going to have to wait for him.
That's right. Holston already completing his shoes as the leader. And this race just got turned on its head at stage number 2. That is, wow.
And a lot of people are confused. We might get an extension of the caution. There's a bunch of wave around cars that are confused if they can even pass the pace car.
Yeah, we should be extending this for sure. There's issues big time with this restart. Yeah, Holston's the leader, and he is like the 8th car in line right now. Look at this.
There's a lot of people saying they should be able to pass, but others are being told they can't pass the pace. This is a lot of confusion. They need to sort this pretty quickly.
Yeah, pace lights are out, so they got to get it figured out like now. Black flag for the 17. I don't know why. Probably because pace lights are out and it'll be pitting under closed pits.
Has to be.
Yeah, this is interesting. I mean, it happens. I mean, sometimes you get weird situations when there's so few cars on the lead lap. It just makes for weirdness. Oh, they're having all of those wave around cars fall back now.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
Some of them have dropped. They've told the 27 to let everybody by.
Wow. All right. I don't know what timing and scoring. I don't know where all the loops were, so I can't really comment on if that's the right move or not. But we're going to have basically 4 cars doubled up, and everybody else on the inside of the racetrack is like this restart is going to look like. This is going to be a weird one, to say the least. And then Conklin, of course, who is still on pit road trying to get the damage fixed. He's got to go now, or he's going to go a lap down. He might go a lap down here. He will.
Oh, my goodness. He's taking the gamble, and he is a lap.
Because, it's not even all fixed yet either. He's been on pit road for like combined like 5 or 6 minutes, and he still hasn't got it all fixed. That has got to be just so incredibly frustrating for Sean Conklin. First time in the series, sweeps the first 2 stages, and gets jumped under caution.
There are 5 on the lead lap. Make that 4. So Adam Holston, Ricky Paz, Zachary King, and Dominic Rossi are your only cars in theory now on your lead lap. We're back underway. Conklin's got a flurry of black flag issues going on, and Holston, all of a sudden, looks to hold back the 99. We are running again to 225.
And drivers who are a lap down, like River Hayes, like Christian Barnes, their only job right now is get in front of the 2. If you can pass the leader, get your lap back the old-fashioned way, that is the only way for you back in this race. I mean, yeah, this is wild here in Iowa.
So the Lucky Dog battle is going to get intense. Everybody else is going to have to think about how this is going to play out. So as this all gets straightened out here, Christian Barnes, River Hayes fight aggressively. Top 5. We're racing like it's 1982, maybe.
Well, they have to. This is the Lucky Dog and 5th position. A lot at stake in this with this one pass.
Here we go. Hayes on the outside. Rivers at the speed most of the night. And now has an opportunity to go here. Can he find a way to get around? No, he had to lift in the middle of the corner, and the caution up. That was a bad time to lift.
Conklin just crashed.
How did that happen? I think he was in a bit of a fierce battle with Trevor Yates, wasn't he?
Yeah, 3 wide for a moment. Yeah, bad to worse for the 17. Just trying to pass cars underneath Kime. Oh, he got a bit of a tap. Thing wobbled and up into the wall. I don't think any rear damage out of that incident. So, yeah, I think that's probably no harm, no foul, but not helping his race by any stretch. He is now 12th, the final car 1 lap down.
This race just turned into a disaster for Conklin. Yeah, he's fuming.
Yeah, you could have ended it after for Conklin or before for Conklin. I mean, this was going to be an all-timer in the Mystic Racing League, and it just evaporated.
He's flooring it to the pit stall, missed the pit stall.
I think that's probably going to be it for the 17.
Or at the very least, he's just trying to get there, take the speeding penalty, get the repairs done, then drive the race car. At least finish the job. Now, will race control black flag for excessive speeding? Not sure, but
that doesn't happen until after the race anyway, so that's moot at this point. But
so either way, this is a lucky break for one. Christian Barnes was your lucky dog. That's how big that one lift the 81 had to make in the corner was.
Unfortunate news for the 5th place runner is he has to start at the very back of the field behind everybody. All the lap down cars, all the wave arounds, everyone he's got to start behind. And that is a lot of cars here tonight. There are, 24 left running, so he's going to start 24th in this restart as cars are stopped on the racetrack trying to figure out their running position.
Conklin continues to get the damage repairs done. So Ashton Crowder has given an update on his computer situation and reason he disappeared. His computer turned to a blue screen. He said, you know what, I'm going to take a walk with my girlfriend instead. So Crowder has decided after technical issues to just end the night.
I mean, 24 laps down, not much you're going to be able to do in the situation anyway. So, yeah, I hate that happened. Again, this was going to be, it was shaping up to be a great fight between the 44 and the 17. If they ever got on equal footing, it was going to be curious to see who was able to do what. River Hayes was lurking as well. Christian Barnes was lurking. Now one of those drivers is on the lead lap.
You know the wild thing, Dominic Rossi, we haven't touched upon really this entire week. The 7 car is up to 2nd. Just, this is a big opportunity for him here, possibly. Let's find out how this is going to work for the 7. Best track position of the entire weekend. His sim is trying to blink out. He had issues in practice and qualifying also.
And last night as well.
Now he's got to hope that stays stable.
That's right.
And he's in the wrong gear. Inside line doesn't go. Outside is gone.
And big move to the inside. 3 wide. put Pfiffner in a bad spot.
Pfiffner amongst those battling for the lucky dog now with River Hayes. Gavin Hinson is also in that conversation here. Zachary King at least up to the third spot in this situation for the time being too. That being said here, as some of the others try and find some grip here, see some of those like Anderson going to have some drivers really testing their speed here. Look at Conklin, he's flying through this pack. He's fixed a bit more of the damage on the left front. So he's amongst those flying in that back group. Pfiffner still going to the front group. There's Conklin on his cut going left and right.
He just about thread the needle between Anderson and Ullman. Ullman lifted. 17 trying to roll to the top side. He's trying to get to that lucky dog spot because that again is his only way back. We're only 134 laps in the 225, still just under 100 left in this race. So there's time left, but not a lot of it.
Still 90 laps to go. Still going to be interesting on the pit strategy possibly because 90 to go. Add an extra 20, let's put it that way, on that mark. You might get a one-stopper here. It's going to be a bit close there. Conklin, Barnes, now amongst those slice and dicey. Barnes is the lead lapper, though, so that's why there's some give and take there in the 27th, zooming off pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's just, again, knowing, let's at the top of the show, know who you're racing against and understand situation. Great example of it from the Coke Series driver in Conklin, able to just say, hey, Barnes, you're clearly quicker than me right now with the new tires, and you're on the lead lap. I'm not. I don't need to burn my stuff up racing against you at this moment.
Take a look at King again. See him riding on as. See him with the camera. His fan continues to cheer him on here today. Nothing on the TV in the background here tonight, but focused on just trying to get to Ricky Paz here.
And close to it at that, to the rear bumper. Holston doing a really great job at the front of the field. Haven't really said his name much at all today. He ran well last night. That car had a lot of speed in it. And he's showing that Iowa is a place he's familiar with and can run well at. He's a good short track driver, kind of across the board in that two car.
A lot of the short track races done well. Correct.
Oh,
caution.
we got an issue.
And it's involving
Pfiffner.
the 55.
I heard it. I just didn't see it. Jack Pfiffner is around on the racetrack.
John Steller takes responsibility on the radio. 93. Ended up hitting him on the bumper.
He sure did. Oh my goodness. The hard turn back to the right for the 55. Yikes.
At least it wasn't strictly on the quarter panel.
Well, I think it blew the motor.
Yeah, it definitely did.
Yeah, that car is done for the day. Ate that for Pfiffner, minding his own business and just involved in an accident. That is the really unfortunate part. I mean, you can say something about Sean Conklin as well, is that not doing anything to invite that accident, just these things happen. And unfortunately, when these things happen, they sometimes happen to you.
John Conklin, by the way, sped again down pit road as he's rushed to get repairs. Race control has already noted that, as we talked about in the conversation earlier. That being said, Barnes did take service, Zachary King as well. 20-plus lap fresher tires than your front runners coming up here. River Hayes also is back on the lead lap. So big opportunities here for at least 2 or 3 of these cars to try and find the way to the front.
It is. Surprised that Hayes didn't pit as well, but he must just be content with where he's at with 24 laps on his stuff right now. I mean, pitting in about 30-ish laps Yeah, this is we're starting to work back from the end of this race to see if we're going to one stop it, two stop it, kind of where we're at. We're a little tight still at the moment, JP. What do you hear? Hear any chatter from drivers about pit strategies and anything like that?
On the radio, race control is currently saying emotions are high.
Naturally.
Outside of that, race control is also questioning Conklin about the speeding. They've warned him a second time.
Yeah.
This caution for speeding. Conklin's almost fixed all the damage.
There you go. And he is, I believe, he's still one lap down. Still the final car, one lap down. Car looks a lot better.
I think that car's just about fixed. If it's probably got like
seconds. It looks good. I think he's fine now because, yeah, I mean, he left well before he had to, so I think that car is finally back to 100.
Sauer gets the penalty. Conklin to the tail, likely, or at least, well, is getting the penalty. He is given an EOL penalty for all the speeding penalties.
That tracks. They'll get a points penalty in post as well, but being at his first race of the season, not really making a difference.
I mean, it will for the owner's points. So, on that note, remember, Crown Jewel race next time out. That's going to be an interesting one. 160 laps at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Going to be a Sunday evening event, Morgan.
Yep. As
they choose here. That's going to be an interesting one. Who comes out to race for that event?
And I think Jacob Cochran won that race last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the Crown Jewels last year, a lot of the drivers who were part-time really did well, and a lot of them picked up the race commitments this year. Yes, I know you were one.
My only Mystic win in my first start with VSPEED on the ticker is something that is not lost on me. That was good fun.
So let's find out how long this run goes, because driver on fresh tires is on the inside.
Right.
Driver on old tires on the outside. Holston's the control car on the older tires, though. He, King, Paz, Barnes, Rossi, and Hayes are the only ones still on the lead lap. Green, green, green. There's been no tire spin issues for the most of the week. Backing away goes the 2. Ricky Paz looking to attack, but King with the better grip, already clear.
And Barnes should be able to follow the 51 through as well. They're side by side behind him. Still haven't got the black flags from the restart cleared. There they go. Hornet's Nest still trying to get the first car lap down, which is Yates. Car on the wall, that's mopping. And we're 4 wide on the front stretch.
4 wide, is that going to work? Not really. Anderson nearly got into Kelly after a door slam with Marino Jr. They're able to all hang on. Kelly zips by them all. Hinson just trying to ride the bottom and all of that. So that was near disaster. 4 wide at Iowa doesn't usually work.
Yeah, props to these guys for minimal contact and no issues when it came to that incident. Situation, I should say, not incident. It was not an incident.
King's in the race lead, by the way. He just took it away, and the 51 is gone on the fresh tires. Made that move as we're looking at the 4 wide down the front on lap 146 to lap 147. Now King's already taking off, and here comes Barnes on the freshies as well.
We're going to have a battle for the lead here in short order between the 51 and the 27. No one else on the same tires. And if this goes green, this could set them up well for the end. A caution would really hurt this strategy for them. We've seen some wild racing here in the last little while, JP.
Yep, it's been getting pretty physical out here. But right now, all you can say is you have to see where things lay for once we get inside the pit window. Gotta race things out. Right now, the 99's got a cushion. Some of the lappers trying to work themselves through. It's currently Kelly in the lucky dog spot over Hinson. But there's a car you're going to have to keep an eye on, and we already know the name of it. It's Sean Conklin, who is running the same pace as your leader on Freshies at the moment, who's slicing through this pack up towards a 2 to 3 tenths quicker a lap.
He is the other driver on brand new tires. I mean, Kelly and Hinson in that same boat as well. The impressive thing, though, is, of course, 17 is in traffic, and King is not in traffic.
Just looking smooth as can be here, at least for now. Hinson, meanwhile, wants to at least pass Ricky Paz, a lead lap car. He's trying to keep up with Kelly, who passed him already. Paz up on the wall for a moment. But Paz, who's already picked up a bit of damage repair in recent times down pit road, just going to let them go. He's already in a good spot as it is with the way things have gone in this race.
I want to apologize to everyone who's having to witness this YouTube chat right now. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about it. Just shameful what's happening in the chat, but understand it doesn't represent the brand that you're watching here. Just the people in the chat who are choosing to act the way that they are. Regardless, back to racing. Sean Conklin closing in on Gavin Hinson and Landon Kelly for the lucky dog spot by lead lap car. Ricky Paz starting to fall back.
Yeah, Paz again just taking his time here, but we already can see that 17's closing. 70 to go this upcoming time by Conklin. Within range to attack with the lucky dog Holston, the third place car. Getting passed by Kelly and Hinson on the outside. Conklin trying the inside. Now building the run as Holston stays low.
How weird is it to be third and just getting your doors blown off by a trio of lap cars?
Very.
Doesn't happen very often.
Oh, that was a deep send there.
Sailed it in there.
Surprised he didn't hit the bumper. Chrome got a little bit of 17 filling it on that bumper at 39. Here comes Conklin to the inside to try and rip away second a lap down. Kelly next up in the order.
I mean, the car control is just incredible on the 17, how far he drove into the corner, and that car never left the white line. These three might get their lap back on pace.
Yeah, this is impressive here. They're running about the same speed as the leader, but Conklin is on the inside for the lucky dog spot. Right now, the 17 looking to zip on by. Kelly putting up a good fight, but couldn't get the center to stick for exit. Conklin is now the lucky dog car, running down in 7th. And Barnes has caught up to King for the race lead as well.
Rossi just had an issue. I think he hit the wall off of turn 4. But you're right, battle for the lead is on. King burned the stuff up. These two on equal tires, equal footing. And Barnes has been great all day.
Yeah, King really capitalizing with the first charge. Same for Barnes, but Barnes right now a little bit quicker over the past 10 laps by about half a tenth to a tenth. Now that he's on the bumper, though, that's easier said than done. These cars have gotten extremely aero-dependent with the recent updates in the past few months, especially the most recent. Barnes trying to find some clean air. King backing up his corner.
And King leaving the bottom and giving that half a car width, that will help the 27 immensely with downforce. So if he keeps up like that, 27 is going to have a shot at this thing.
Got to keep battling. They're almost 10, 15 laps away from the green light on gas to make it to the end of this race. Now we're cut to the inside.
Just like that. Look at the exit.
He's got good exits, but not really getting enough here to actually get a run to dive there.
There it is.
Might get it here.
This
Look at King
one.
tight.
Yeah, King missed the bottom. He rolled so much entry speed that he missed the bottom. Now Barnes going to go way to the top side, try something different. Worked a fair bit that time. He got a good run. There it is.
Inside send again. Barnes couldn't make the pass.
And you know who Conklin's biggest fan is right now? Landon Kelly. Kelly's saying, go Conklin. Pass them both. Pass them here. Get the lap back the old-fashioned way. If a caution were to come out, give Kelly the lucky dog. Get a 2-for-1 when it comes to lead or lap down cars back on the lead lap.
Yeah, this could get interesting here in terms of the 17 conversation, obviously. But here's Barnes' chance for the lead.
Yeah, he got
him.
Just so defensive for King. Trying to drive it into the corner. I don't think he's going to have anything on the exit here. Yeah, Barnes got him. New leader, 27.
Christian Barnes up there, and well, look at this. Door-to-door contact, Sean Conklin with the hello.
Oh. Oh, goodness.
I mean, all you can say is Conklin's trying to lap himself now.
Yeah, I know the why, but I don't love it.
Yep, Conklin to the inside of Barnes. Barnes letting him have the inside, and Conklin has unlapped himself the hard way. Right as Elijah Maupin has said he's pitting, so the window is open for service. This is actually an interesting time for a lot of these cars. Some of these drivers are going to be tight on gas to the end here, Morgan. You're 50 laps in for drivers like Holston, Paz, and Rossi at the moment.
Yeah, that caution came out at such a weird time that it has put us in a bit of a box. Maupin, yeah, he didn't pit the last time. He's had the worst fuel here, so everyone else about 7 laps more fuel than him, so they should be okay to the end. Yeah, this is beyond curious.
Yeah, again, sometimes strategy can be like a roulette, as we talk about so much. Right now, Paz able to zip by Holston. Beckett Brown, by the way, he has been here this entire time. You know how many spots he's picked up? 2.
That's right.
He's about to pick up 3 in 4 laps. His best opportunity for a finish, 23rd.
At the moment. He could get more if something were to happen.
Don't jinx it. Yeah, just at the very least, he might have had solid speed for a top 5 or top 10 if he didn't have the issues to make it to the green flag.
I mean, we know Beckett Brown's fast, right? He's been fast everywhere we've went, road courses, oval, short track, super speedways, 1.5 miles. So he's just a wheel man. So not surprised to see him racing quickly here as we see a battle for the 4th spot. Rossi going to get around Holston.
All this going well as they all zip about here. On a positive note, I believe Michael Wade just announced he's going to run next week's race at the Brickyard.
Terrific news. Haven't seen Michael Wade in an MRL race in quite a while.
It's been a bit, but looking to come out potentially for the crown jewel. We'll see. That being said here, still have to finish off this one and make sure you have a car that can actually get set with not too much body work needs to be done before we go to the Brickyard. There goes the zip of Hayes. He's alongside Holston. That is for 5th.
Yeah, we should be seeing Paz, Rossi, Hayes, and Holston on pit road in short order next handful of laps. As we're already 57 in the run for those guys. I think the most we saw was 59 laps earlier in the race. Yates into the fence.
trying to hold on to the top 10 in his situation here. Paz, Rossi, Hayes wants to stretching, but Holston can no longer stretch, he just said. 2 cars coming down pit road, so the leaders are opening up their window. A little bit of an earlier cut, but he does avoid the inside marbles.
Nope. He's got no right front tire.
And he's stopped in front of the barrels. He's got to get this car down the lane. He's not getting the caution. There he goes.
Just a tough break for that tire. Blew as he hit the brakes into 3 to come to pit road. And of course, no right front tire means you can't get it turned. There goes past the pit road as well.
Those were some of the expected stops, though, with the fuel. Holston with his tire missed this pit stall. Also coming down, Cody Anderson wants to wave in. John Stellard also coming in. 7's already indicated a pit stop this time by. Kirkenbauer's also coming down. A lot of drivers are coming down for their flurry of green flag stops. Rossi, technical issues as he comes down to the box. Doesn't hold up Hayes too much, though.
Should see Kings and Barnes in about 30 more laps. It'll be a while until we see those two, barring caution, of course. There should be a splash and go to the end as well.
I believe I heard someone blow a motor trying to figure out who just did. He hit the barrels.
Yeah.
And, you know, sometimes with the marbles, they just roll you into a bad path. I think this car,
too, right?
This car didn't stop.
No, yeah, that was unfortunate. I think he realized that it just wasn't going to stick. And into the wall goes Barnes on pit road. So is King. Way early for these guys.
This has to be a response, thinking there's some of those that just pit
Conklin
are going to jump them.
Landon Kelly, should see him on pit road here as well.
Oh, we have a spinner on the racetrack. It's Jared Knobsnyder, front straightaway. 82's in the grass. Will this bring out a caution? No, it will not.
Not yet, anyway. Has to get back up to speed. I think he'll be all right. Yeah, that was just about... Everyone had their stomach up in their throat for a minute watching the 82 slide through the grass. Kelly is now your leader over Hinson.
He's only 40 laps to the run. Same for Hinson. Barnes did cycle ahead of King, although King tried a shorter pit stop with 2 tires. Same just happened for Sean Conklin to save a little bit of time. He cycled currently still, though, at least 10 seconds behind River Hayes. So with that in mind here, going to be interesting where this works out for Kelly, because you obviously can't make it, but you surely can hope you get a caution flag to keep yourself in position with only about 7 or 8 cars, maybe 9 on the lead lap here.
Yeah, and Hinson's in the same boat. I think he's really doing what Kelly's doing at this point.
Kelly's in.
Never mind, Hinson's doing his own thing. Probably going to run this out, which would be about 20 laps, a little less than. Going to put us right around lap 200.
It's a gamble, but if it works out, it'll be huge. We're near pit call on the radio. Let's see who comes in on this wave as the leader continues to chug around the racetrack. That being said here, Barnes is currently your net leader by 2 seconds for those who have taken service. Over Kane, Paz, Hayes, Rossi. Conklin has closed up a fair bit of time, but he's still 2/3 back. Marino Jr., who fell a lap down over the cycle, will come in. Zach White this time. So it's a busy pit road sequence right now in the 48.
That was close to getting drilled by whoever's right behind him. That was a late and aggressive pit entry, and it just about bit him into the barrels. King,
by the way,
sorry, that's Barnes about to lead back from Hinson.
That's what I was about to say. He caught up to him quick, didn't he?
He did. Fresh tires will do that.
Zip by like he was standing still, and Christian Barnes no longer has to worry about that part of the strategy. 8 cars are on the lead lap. Barnes leads them all with 40 laps to go. It's worth noting that King is trying to find a way to close the gap. Gavin Henson will come in this time by, which will tie a bow for just about everybody except for Billings and Collier for their scheduled stops to make it to the end on fuel. So now, what becomes the next storyline? Well, Ricky Paz is still in the top 3, trying to hold on to the podium in front of Hayes.
Do we see the yellow flag? I think that's the storyline, because if we see a yellow flag, that will change entirely how this race ends. Right now, it's can anybody catch Christian Barnes? Zachary King is 3.5 back. I don't think he's got the pace to do it here on the 2 tires. Has even 2 seconds back of him, then Hayes, of course, in 4th. If we get bunched back up again, there are 5 solid cars at the front of this field that have a great shot at getting a win tonight.
See, Hayes just trying to get around Zach White. Small bright side for that 77 here tonight. It's outscoring just about everybody he needs to outscore, or at least just a couple points loss. Cut line. So White has a bit of buffer to play with. It's just a matter of, can he make it up, especially at Daytona, to make sure he doesn't get jumped by the last race. That's the huge thing, because getting top 20s has been just enough to get him in 16th or so in the series.
Yeah, I mean, if he just keeps doing what he's doing, he'll probably get in. Yeah, just be solid, don't make mistakes, and probably end up with a chase or a chase spot here in a few weeks. Billings in on pit road. That should end the cycle. Collier's only one left.
He's 51 laps in, but he's multiple laps down.
And 3 laps down as well, so not really impacting the ending of this race in terms of his strategy. But still, top 20 run for Collier. Nothing to be upset about by any stretch in the 28, who absolutely clapped the wall earlier in this race, but that car continues to run just fine.
Well, 32 laps to go for your race leader. Christian Barnes well in control for those just tuning in. Conklin, 14 or so seconds back, has at least caught Rossi for the top 5. The 17's at least recovering, but is in the needs a caution club.
Yeah, caution would save his race potentially. After winning the first 2 stages, trying to get around the 7, who's continuing to have connection issues. Never long enough to really impact anything, but just enough that drivers are a little bit wary of driving around the 7, because you don't know exactly where he's going to be at any given moment.
Collier is in, so the window is closed. Everybody is pit. Everyone should make it on gas from this point forward. Conklin, a little bit of a scare there.
Got 30 laps to the end of the race.
Gotta hold on to the race car here. Holston is the last car on the lead lap for those curious in the 2 car after leading on the initial restart for this run. Big difference how things have gone here this run. You see some of the air battles going on here. You have John Steller just trying to ride and survive. Billings is trying to plug away some spots.
Collier blending back onto the racetrack. Get back to 20th.
A little bit of a lower line to do it there, but made it.
Just trying to get out of the way. Can't fault him. Only car on his lap, 5 laps down. 1 lap behind White, 3 laps ahead of Knopfschneider.
Indeed.
There's 7 on the lead lap, back to Holston, who has really struggled with pace here the last half of the run to now. I mean, the old tires obviously not helping, but even now the 2 struggling to to keep up with some of the cars who are multiple laps down.
See Holston at the least trying the inside of Reggie Kime. Kime with the zip. That time through. Kime, mind you, on newer tires. But
Hayes about to catch Paz for third.
that battle for the podium yet again heating up. Zach White near contact with Zachary Kane up into turn one, by the way. Still keeping it clean. That's the hope for a lot of these drivers at this point. But back to that conversation for third. Hayes has been trying to get back up here for a while with all the strategy situations tonight. He's near equal on pace to the 99. In fact, he's a little bit quicker. But the problem is he needs to find a way to get there and make the pass. He's running out of time.
Only 25 laps to go. Fuel should no longer be a problem for anyone except for maybe Elijah Moffitt. Everyone else is okay in the tank. And look at this. That 81 sailed it off into turn one and ate a lot of time up in the center of the corner as well.
Right on the inside. Trying to find a way to get around.
Hard contact for the 99.
Was that hard enough for damage? No, it wasn't, but it's hard enough at least to scrape the car. I was about to say Hinson going to disrupt this battle for a little bit, though. On the inside, passes at least one of them.
He's trying to get to Landon Kelly, who was only a couple seconds in front of him, about 5 seconds, I suppose. It was a bit of a ways. That would be the lucky dog battle.
Needs to find a way to get by without holding them up. Hinson's already gone through. River Hayes trying the outside line to see if that works. Doesn't make too much difference quite yet here. So we have 20 to go. This upcoming time by for the field. Lap traffic ahead. John Stellard moves to the inside.
Oh, that was close.
Straight to the bottom.
Stellard just about got into the quarter panel River Hayes into turn number one. That was less than a foot difference between those two.
Could have got ugly there, but didn't. Oh, Zachary Kane loose on the front straightaway, slammed the wall down from second. Now he has to battle with the 77 again because of it.
Car looks okay. Let's go see what happened here.
Yeah, noticing a couple of these drivers in this group had been going scraping the wall a bit here before.
Yeah, White applying pressure. Yeah, King just overdrove it, hit the wall.
Yep, and now just has to get himself around Anderson at the very least in the 92 car for traffic.
Ace is
Meanwhile, look at that near contact. He's on the inside of Paz. This is for third.
Door to door at the start finish line. Can Hayes find the grip on the bottom of the racetrack, paint that white line, and clear the 99? Tires are equal. Hayes caught him from a fair ways back. This is for third, bottom step of the podium.
Hayes has the bottom, but Paz has the throttle. There goes the 99 with the boost. Can he find a way to clear on by, though? Not yet. Still door to door. Squeeze back from Paz.
This battle is so Iowa. It's exactly what this racetrack was designed for. The guy on the bottom can roll the center better and keep speed that way. The guy on the outside can get the exit better, make it all back on the straightaway. For now, the straightaway, the outside line is the one that prevails. Hayes is going to have to regroup and try again with 15 laps to go.
Right now the reset is on. To the inside goes Hayes. Paz again defends up top. U1 on the poke. Gets alongside the numbers of the 99, but doesn't go for the pinch up. Still battling hard as they catch up to Cody
Anderson,
Anderson,
who's really slow in the center.
Where did he come from again? That's a lot of time lost all of a sudden for that 92. He blends to the inside. That forced the battle to reset. And Conklin is here.
Down in one. And yeah, that brought Sean Conklin into this battle as well, who came out of nowhere. Top 3 in the realm of possibility for the 17 as well.
Yeah, he's closed up 5 seconds over the past 20 laps or so. Can Conklin at least get this car on the podium in his debut this season? Look at how much he gained.
He's down to 3rd gear in the center of the corner. No one else is doing that.
I don't think anyone else has tried it with what he's been able to do. Look at this to the door.
I mean, this is hair on fire driving right here. He is giving it all it's got, but still looks completely under control.
He's got himself to 4th, now looks for 3rd. How hard does Paz fight it? He's in the wall and the door. Conklin has the rotation in. Can he clear? Yeah, he's got it. He's got 3rd.
And don't look now, but King is just up the road. And that car is very slow right now.
Since that wall hit, he dropped a few tenths per lap here. He is on the struggle bus late. There's a chance 2nd is not even safe right now. And remember the situation under the caution before at the end of stage 2. 10 to go at the stripe. 10 laps to go. Christian Barnes, if it stays green, looking comfortable with an 8-second lead.
If you would have asked me middle of stage 2 who was going to win this race, I think I would have picked 4 drivers ahead of this 27 car. But
I think that would have been about the count too.
Since that craziness at the end of stage 2, I mean, he has been the one who's risen above it all. It's not over yet. Obviously, white flag not in hand, checkered flag not in hand for Barney, but we're getting down to the point where that pay window, it's opening.
Here we go. King's on the inside, Conklin on the outside for 2nd. Conklin will try and make this on the outside. How does this work out? No drama, no issues. Conklin to 2nd.
Not quite clear there. Now it's on the entry into 1. 17 has gone by. King still up 12 positions in this race. If he can stay ahead of Paz, a podium finish for the 51. Christian Barnes continues to lead with just about 5 laps to go. And Hayes still working on Paz.
Still trying to fight for valuable points. River Hayes, remember, your points leader entering tonight by over 100 points over Isaac Wilson, who is not at the field tonight. He's watching along at the moment. Still being to say, though,
Knopfschneider meatball flag.
That's the 2nd one under a green flag run this race, Morgan.
It is, and Beckett Brown did pass Indy Kirkenbauer for 22nd for those keeping track, so bunch of spots gained now for the 45 for just staying in the race.
Yeah, he's 3rd stage, really taking advantage of the situations here. Knopfschneider, by the way, may be out of tires heard on the radio, so won't be able to keep racing this race with under 5 to go from Iowa.
Hinson has caught Holston. Remember, Holston was on the lead lap, but something, oh, that car is destroyed. This too is in trouble.
I think he might pop a tire too.
He's
that
close
car's
to it.
He's not turning.
Not at all.
Well, that too is struggling on entry to rotate.
Right here. You can tell it just will not rotate at all. Gillen and Moppin for 14th.
10 has it. 10 looks to run. Coming to 2 laps to go.
How wild is it that 14th and 15th are both 4 laps down?
Kind of says it's been a wild night.
It has
At one point, At one point, we had 4 cars on the lead lap with the way things went in stage 2.
Rolling it in with 6 on the lead lap as we hit 2 more times around lap and a half for the 27.
Talk about capitalization. Christian Barnes takes advantage of the situations that pop up throughout the stage. He's got 1 more lap to close it. No cautions to rip it away from here. Barnes leads with 3/4 of a lap to go.
Holston did get his meatball flag. That car will have to serve it.
For the second time this season, Christian Barnes will come out of the final corner and take the win. He wins the Slim Chickens 225. Ends up leading 56 laps on the night, finishing ahead of Conklin and Zachary King. And the WFR car gets to celebrate a victory here tonight to help chip away the gap for the second spot of the point standings.
And this is just one of those Christian Barnes type races. The long runs, the tire saving, the strategy, and a little bit of good luck to go his way puts him in victory lane for the second time this season. Burn it down, 27.
Christian Barnes celebrating on the front straightaway. Look at that. He is way down to the grass. I thought it was super sped there with the way he was backing up for a moment.
Well, when you're excited, you're excited. And you got to feel good to win one like that.
So, as we look at your unofficial race results, Barnes, Conklin, King on the top 3. Ricky Paz, along with River Hayes, finished in the top 5. Only one other on the lead lap, Dominic Rossi. Kelly, Henson, Holston, lap down with Yates in the top 10.
Finishing 11th, Marino Jr. with Reggie Kime in the 12th spot. John Ullman will finish 13th with Gillen in the 14th spot. 15th for Maupin and 16th for Billings. 17th for Zach White. John Snellard will finish 18th. Coley 19th. And Cody Anderson retired early. He will finish in 20th.
21st goes to Knobsnatter with a blown tire. Then Becca Brown recovered to 22nd. Kirkenbauer ahead of Fiffner, Moyer, Hawkins, Crowder, followed by Good in the entries here tonight. Throwcount was your race control here this evening. So as we get set for post-race discussions, huge note, it's unofficial again with Conklin with the pit road situation for the 17. Still waiting for race winner Christian Barnes to make his way up for the celebrations. We do have third place that has already situated itself here. That is Zachary King. Zachary, as we get set here, you finish up in the top 3. How are you feeling on this run?
Oh man, what a day for this Ideal Racing number 51 Ford Mustang. Yeah, just got it there. I was really happy with it. I'm surprised the tires lasted that long. Check on it, 15% on the right front, but yeah, blew a tire at the end of both stages, so that was phenomenal. And still hung on to a P3 finish. I don't know. When they chose the outside under the last caution, I was like, well, I'm gonna come put tires on because there's only like 4 of us, 5 of us in the lead lap. And I came put tires on, and then everybody chose the highlight. And I was like, well, fresh tires. I'm taking the bottom. And was able to lead a little bit there, really happy. And then Christian was able to get it. And congrats to him. But yeah, I'm really happy with the P3 finish.
Obviously, it was a physical night in general. I'm not just talking about you in the 17, or there was a moment with even the 77 at one point. Like, why do you feel it was so physical in general here at Iowa tonight?
The cars aren't on edge, so to say. They're more of the right front just shreds so fast. And it's literally just trying to keep that right front from not shredding. And the thing that happened with the 17 is it's common courtesy, bro. You're not the caution's literally getting ready to come out. Why are you trying to force the issue and force me a lap down? I didn't do nothing intent there. and y'all can go and check the SMT or whatever y'all got to check. But I know I didn't turn right or anything that everybody assumes that I turned right on. Shout out to my boy in the 93 for that one. But yeah, I mean, everybody's on edge. The tires were shredding really, really bad, and I just think some guys are just trying to overdo it. I know I was overdoing it. I came into the night thinking I was a 15th place car at best, and we're able to round off a top 3, so I'm happy with that.
If I heard you correctly, too, you mentioned you blew a tire at that point, too, correct?
Blew a tire. I got the meatball after the wreck happened, so I thought it was race over damage, but only had like 15 seconds, but it was definitely the right front. It was at 0%. But that was after the wreck happened.
Okay.
So, like, my tires blew when I was coming into the pits, both times.
Gotcha. So, on a bright note, how do you feel about racing 160 laps next weekend?
You know, Indianapolis, I mean, I don't know how good I am there. I feel like I've never raced the Cup cars there. Ran a lot of IndyCar races there, but never in the Cup cars. So probably gonna do the same thing about tire saving and strategy. So we'll bring the notepad, we'll bring the strategy book. That's what got us here to the top 3 again, and got us our other top 3 over at Pocono. So obviously just gotta play our cards right and be smart with what we do.
Any shout out you'd like to give here tonight?
Yeah, shout out Mama King. Shout out to my boy the 93. You already know who that is. Shout out to Ashton Crowder. We've been working. He wasn't here tonight, or wasn't with me tonight, but always working with him and learning some things. Shout out to the 17 for speeding on pit road. Shout out to Gilbert Sleet, MX Raps, Tizio Designs, Ideal Racing. Thank you, Corey, for having me on the team. And yeah, that's about it. Shout out Mom again.
Congratulations on the top 3.
Thank you.
Zachary King unofficially in the top 3. Then unofficially second, Sean Conklin is with Morgan.
Sean, Morgan, and JP up in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
Well, 101 laps led today in a roller coaster effort for you. How do you sum up today?
Pretty dominant. I think we were fastest car on track by far the entire race. I got taken out right as the caution came out for the end of stage 2. We rebounded from that. I mean, I started like 30th on track, like position wise. I mean, obviously there's a lot of cars lapped down, but I was tail end of the field. Drove through the field once to unlap myself, and then drove through it again to finish second. So all in one stage. I wish I would have gotten taken out in the first stage, so I would have had the second one and this last one to come back through. I think even if we had one more green flag pit cycle, I think we would have been fine. But I don't know. I really enjoy the fixed setup at this track. I think this is one of the best fixed setups that iRacing has put out. So I saw this and just wanted to come run it just for fun. I really enjoy this setup. Not particularly the track in general, but something about the fixed setup just works really well with me in the Coke race especially. But yeah, just wanted to come out here and have fun tonight. And I had a lot of fun until we got taken out, and then had to make our way back through the field.
That actually segues into my next question. This is your debut, of course, in the Mystic Racing League. What brings you here specifically to run at Iowa in this setup?
Just I had a friend that was in VC running this league, and he asked me to help him for the next race. I was like, "What's the next race?" And it's Iowa. So I said, "You know what? Get me in that." And I just wanted to come run this race. I don't know if I'll be here every night because of NIS, but wanted to run this one. It's a good track for me, and maybe we'll come back around for the road courses.
There you go. Well, we get to see him potentially on Friday nights here in the Mystic Racing League, and then, of course, on Saturdays in the FLCC. But Sean Conklin, who do you want to thank? Who do you want to shout out for a second place effort here today?
I just want to shout out the guys that let me sub in for the 17. Big thanks to them. Come out here and try to get a win for them. I think we're really going to. But unfortunate circumstances that apparently is not his fault. But you'll have that sometimes. And yeah, just thank you to all the guys who put this on, letting me come out here and do a few one-off races.
All right, Sean Conklin, second place finisher tonight. Thank you from Sofa News Victory Lane.
Thank you.
John Conklin, second spot tonight. Again, his spot unofficial due to pit road situations that were reviewed by race control during the week. Christian Barnes, though, capitalizes to get to the top step of the podium in Sofa News Victory Lane tonight. Christian, were you expecting to get this win with the way things looked? Because stage 3 turned upside down.
Oh, definitely not. Once I went a lap down, I with how it's been, basically it was just a long run race the whole time. I didn't expect to get, I guess, kind of lucky, because me and River were side by side for laps trying to get the lucky dog. We were doing our best not to touch each other, to give each other an X. So, shout out to him for racing really hard but clean there, because we could have just threw it away right there. But man, once I got the lap back, I mean, I didn't know the 17 actually went a lap down. I thought he was up in the front. And once I heard that he was a lap down, I was just hoping that, it turned into a long run race, and, hopefully I could stay ahead of him. And I felt like I had the second best car. I mean, nobody could touch the 17. I mean, he was flat out easily the favorite to win this race, but I was able to, keep the long run pace, get to the lead, and luckily I was far enough ahead that he couldn't catch me.
It was an interesting race overall with the tire wear. What was that looking like for you here this evening to try and keep the tires underneath you? Because during that final run, you're outpacing most of the field by upwards of 3/4 tenths by the end.
Yeah, the first stage, I looked at my tires and it was all the way down to 20. And I already heard that a few other people were getting meatballs from loading the tires. So the rest of the race, I just decided I wasn't going to drive too hard, and I wasn't going to use the outside too much, because using the outside, at least for me, would burn my stuff up more. So I really just had to take it easy early on in the runs, so that later on I could actually push, and it just worked out.
How do you feel about the Crown Jewel coming up this next weekend?
I mean, I feel great about it, but at the same time, anything can happen at that track. It's going to be clean air. If you can get the lead, especially late in the race, I think you'll have it. But we'll just have to wait and see.
Any shout out you'd like to give here tonight?
Well, I want to shout out Waterforce Racing and Gavin Hinson for making my paint schemes. That's about it.
Congratulations on the top step of the podium today.
Thank you very much.
Christian Barnes taking the checker flag this evening to go to Sofa News Victory Lane in the Slim Chickens 225. I'd like to thank the entire Talk Through Speedway Stream post-race coverage here on VSPEED. Morgan, that was a wild race, to say the very least.
You could call it the tale of two races. I mean, the first two stages were completely different from the beginning of that third stage, and just such an interesting race from top to bottom. Put on a pretty good show, and I think Iowa is going to be circled next year for a few drivers of, can we repeat the magic? Or do we just leave the car in the cornfield and maybe skip that week? It's going to be hard to say for some drivers, but very interesting race, as you said.
It's going to be a wild one next time out when we go 160 laps, 400 miles at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. One of 2 full-distance races in the final 3 to decide who makes it to the chase for the Slim Chickens Cup Series. On that note, though, we'll see you next time out when we go racing. Again, that date will be on the, not on the normal day, the 24th, the 26th of July, 2026. On that note, it's time to say goodbye for my producer and co-announcer tonight, Morgan Cook. I'm Justin Prince saying thank you so much for tuning in for tonight's coverage to the MRL. We'll see you next time when we go racing at the Brickyard for a crown jewel at Indy.